Good morning. It's just after 5 a.m. here in Calgary, and today is going to be a back to basics practice. And we're going to be needing a block and strap and a ball, whether it's a tennis ball or whether it's a massage ball, either or will work. We'll be mostly on our back for this practice. We'll be on the floor the entire time, okay? So here's where we'll begin. We'll be here and we'll be bringing our pelvis up, and there are 3 levels to this block. Now, depending on the time of day it is, you might choose the higher one. I'm going to go for the low one for now. I might go up to the medium one, but I'm going to start at the low one. I'm just going to keep it super easy just to keep my pelvis elevated. And then here, just let the breath come in. Really, really easy breathing. Feel your feet on the floor. Center of your heel, ball of your foot, base of your pinky toe. Feel the shoulders on the floor. And feel your breath coming in and going out. Yeah? Breath coming in and going out. Noticing your feet, noticing your head. And depending on the time of day that you're doing this, you can either notice how your sleep was with you or how your day has been with you, and how you have been with your sleep, how you were with your rest, how you have been with your day. And then from here, take your pelvis up and drop it back. And we're going to move into some very gentle butterflies. So the idea here is the leg bones are moving wide. They're rotating in the hip sockets. And the feet are staying exactly where they are. You're just coming onto the outside edges of the feet. So your leg is this kinetic chain, right? So the leg bone's in that hip socket and that leg is rotating. So we're just coming onto the outside. The feet are not sliding towards each other as in Baddha Konasana. We're just moving those legs wide. Really, really, really easy. And what to pay attention to is, particularly if you have pain, notice if your back wants to get involved in the movement. Notice if you want to brace in your rib cage. Notice if you want to use your jaw. And know that those are not required to do the movement. So do the movement as far as those don't get involved. Now, sometimes what can happen is that you can go quite a distance and everything is fine, but it's coming back in, that's the brutal part. So then find the range, even though you're not going to go your full distance, find the range going out that you can easily come back in, right? Because going out is a different kind of motion. You're going with gravity, whereas as you're coming back in, you're going more against gravity. So it's a different kind of motion on your body. So don't go all the way, don't spend all your energy on your way out so that you suffer on the way back in. All right, so keep it in that easy, easy range. So you might go all the way, you might not. You just need to pay attention to what's going on back here. Because even if it's normal for you, this is what's cool. Even if it's normal for you, just know that there could be a new normal. Right? Your back's not meant to be involved as you take your legs wide. Just consider that. So find the range where it's not involved at all. Your ribs are not needed at all. Okay, lovely. So now let's bring one leg up. So now we're at 90 degrees at the hip. Hand comes onto the front of the knee. Now same thing, your back doesn't need to be involved. Press that knee into your hand. It's just hip flexor. You don't need to brace through your rib cage or your armpit. Just super easy breathing, and then bring that down, and then other side. Okay, lovely. Now from here, we're going to take this leg down to rotation again, like we did before. Just now we're going to do one leg. And we're going to take the motion wide, and then we're going to take the leg straight. So we're going to bring it up, and then rotate, and then straighten the leg and the hip, and then come up. Now, watch what happens here, because lots of times the pelvis is going to go with, I'm going to exaggerate it, but the pelvis goes out with it. And that's a movement. Like there is a movement where you rock the whole pelvis over. But what I'm teaching at this moment is, can you do it so it's just your leg that moves and you don't brace with the other side? So again, maybe you don't drop the leg down as far as you think. Maybe you only move in a small range where your back is okay, your ribs are okay, your neck's okay, your bursitis is okay, your SI is okay, your piriformis is okay, your knee is okay. All that stuff is okay. So find that range. Find that range, right? So maybe it's your ribs, maybe it's your SI, maybe it's your back. Find the range where you don't need to use that. Yeah? This is also a really interesting one for connecting into your psoas. Because your psoas connects between the vertebrae between T12 and L5, and then it crosses over, attaches to the femur. And we don't want to brace through the body here. We do want to keep it easy though. Okay, good. And then from here, let's go to the other side. Same thing. So just notice. Notice what's going on with that leg bone, with that pelvis. This is really where the juice is, right? So many opportunities to be aware. And then when you become aware, then you get to really play with what to do with that awareness, yeah? Awareness is your friend, and what you become aware of is your data, is your information that you can then work with. So go in that range that really makes the most sense for you. And if there's any thought percolating through your head of like, but how am I ever going to progress if my movements is so small? And this is when I say, all I want you to do is move in the range that you don't have that pain or that strain. And then your body will respond to that, and you'll make gains way, way faster. Okay, let's stop that for a sec. Let's come back to bringing those legs wide into butterfly. So do both of them at the same time. We'll just do a few. Okay, good. One more. When you give the body what it needs, it changes very, 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 very fast. Okay, now from here, let's take the leg up. Rotate that leg bone and take the ankle onto the knee. So when you did that, your pelvis is quiet. You're not flattening your back to the floor. Just lifting that leg straight up to the sky, rotating the leg bone, ankle comes onto the knee. Good. Rotate this leg in the hip socket. Now, what we can also play with, this is going to depend on what level of strength and coordination you have. We're going to lift the legs straight up. Now, this is a common movement done in yoga, but often what people do is they come like this. They reach up and then they grab the leg. What I'm saying here is keep your shoulder girdle where it is, and now just lift through your hips. Yeah? So you've just done this movement through the hips. Your back hasn't flattened. You can even play with this leg bone motion in your hip socket here. See, this is why I call this back to basics, because it's really just showing you your movement of your parts relative to each other, right? And when we can improve that, let's go to the other side. When we can improve that, it's really remarkable what happens with pain levels. What happens with levels of efficiency? Let me try that again. Efficiency. What happens with your running? What happens with your cycling? What happens with your skiing? What happens with getting down on the floor with your kids? It's like your body is now becoming more fine-tuned. And you don't have to be resigned to what it feels like. So we're on to the other side. That leg bone is rotating. Your hands are not pushing it. It's a movement from your outer hip. The front of your hip is quiet. Yeah? Okay, now from here, lifting on up. If you want, you don't have to do this. And then you're rotating that leg bone again. Mm-hmm. Good job. All right, let that come down. Now let's do that butterfly again. Come back and just notice what you feel having done that. what the heck has just happened to your body? What are you now noticing? Anything remnant in your jaw or your neck or in your shoulders? Because if so, what becomes really cool to notice is like, wow, those guys did not have to be involved, and yet they did. Like, yay for getting involved, but like, nay for getting involved. It's like, yay that you can compensate so well, but then also just keep in mind that those parts don't have to be involved. Yeah? So that if you can move and arrange and just make the movement smaller, then you'll retrain that movement pattern. That's a big piece of it. Okay, we're going to take a buckled strap. I've got a long strap. It's about 6 or 8 feet. You're going to take it around your foot. You don't have to have a long one. You can have a 4-footer. That's fine. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. If you've got a short one, you can have your hands like this and just start to raise and lower the leg like this. That's what you can do. I'm going to take this and like so, put my hands in through the loops like this. So the loops come around my wrist like so. Okay, and now from here, I'm going to lower my leg down and then raise my arms up. So my leg powers the movement down, but not like in a, I'm not going to like accelerate from 0 to 100, but my arms do the lifting on up, my leg does the lowering down. So my leg follows as my arms lift, and my arms follow as my leg drops. Okay, you can straighten this leg out, other leg out if you'd like. It's totally up to you. Just feel what it feels like in your body. Honor what your body is telling you. Honor that language. All right, lovely. And then let the strap come down. You're going to bring the knee to your belly, and let's come into a twist. Shoulder girdle stays on the ground. Take yourself into that twist. So much of these practices are really about discovering what those little whispers and yellow lights are. And those whispers and yellow lights are in part your compensation patterns. The very thing that was helping you out so much to do the actions and activities that you wanted to do. Okay, bring it back. Let's switch sides. And then at a point in time, it now stops serving you. Okay. And so dropping the leg down. And when you start to clean those up, when you start to clean those little whispers up, then the big screams and the reds, they start to fade away. And you become more and more and more functional, more efficient in your movement. Easy breathing. Great. Okay, let this go. Leg comes straight if it's not straight already. Knees into your belly, and let's take that leg across. Good job. And then bring that back. Okay, bring the legs to the floor. Okay, let's grab the ball now. You can do one of two things with the ball. You can place the ball right underneath one hip. You can just find some of those points that are a little bit tender. Or you can come up into a sitting position here and just roll out that hip there and find some of those points. Maybe cross the ankle onto the knee. Find some of those. This is not an appropriate one if your wrist gets a bit sore. So you could always be on your back. But what I recommend you do, if you're here, is to move the angle of your leg bone a little bit, because it changes the orientation of your femur and your hip socket, and you can get access to a bit more tissue. Okay, let's do the other side. And when you're done this, like we've been doing mostly hips, right? So when we're done this practice, when we're almost done, it'll be interesting for you to feel what you feel through your whole body, because your pelvis is the platform through which your legs move, yeah? So when there's a little bit more freedom in there and a bit more stability, then and the ball comes away, then your legs move better. When your legs move better, your ribcage moves better. When your ribcage moves better, your shoulder girdle moves better, and so does your neck and your jaw. So it's all connected, as we know, right? Okay, come back here. Let's now come back to our butterfly. Now feel what you feel. Good, okay. Come back to the one leg drop, swing that leg out, and then coming back up. Now notice if there's any difference there. Easy, easy, easy breathing. Other side. There you go. Lovely. Bring the legs back up one more time. Let's rotate those leg bones in the hip sockets. And from there, rolling on over if you're ready to coming back up. All right, so you might want to carry on with a more intense yoga practice now, or you might have a series of physiotherapy exercises or chiropractic exercises that you want to do now, or maybe you just want to go for a walk, or heck, if it's 5:30 where you are, you'll join me for breakfast upstairs. Whatever it is that you do, just take an awareness of what's going on through your body, having now just done that, and notice that awareness is your real gold, yeah? And allow yourself just to notice what you notice. All right, we're going to be back next Thursday for another Back to Basics class, so we will see you then. Have a really great week. We'll be also seeing you again tomorrow for our regular Friday morning weekend rerun. So we're glad to see you there as well. So have a great, great rest of your day. Have a good weekend.